Hi everybody, this is your daily tarot reading for Saturday the 14th of April. It's really nice to be with you today. For today's reading, I'm going to use the Glastonbury Tarot, and you can see Glastonbury Tor here on top of the hill, and this is where I actually live, and we do have this Glastonbury Tor. It's an amazing place. It's called the Isle of Avalon in England, and King Arthur is buried here, and it's a very spiritual, mystical place. If you're in England or if you're visiting, I really recommend that you come and visit Glastonbury. If you do a tour of spiritual places and things like that, visiting Stonehenge, Avebury, which is another circle of stones, that's really good. And Glastonbury needs to be on your sightseeing list. It's amazing. My niece came here and she was just over the moon. She can't wait to come back. So let's see what the cards have to say for you today, Saturday the 14th of April. Okay, so we've got the Five of Chalices, which is the Five of Cups. Then we have the Nine of Swords, which is mourning. And then we have the Three of Chalices, celebration. So as you can see, we've got a lot of, we've got a conflict here, mourning versus celebration. So the day is complicated. It's all over the place. I mean, you can't mourn and celebrate at the same time. But we've also got this progress. Now, the Five of Chalices, I call the perspective card because usually it's three spilled cups that are being looked at, and the person is cloaked in a black cloak and is mourning the loss of something that they loved and cared about. And two cups are usually still standing upright, and that person has forgotten that they still have wonderful, beautiful things in their life, but they're just focusing on the negative. Now, in this case, we've got a woman who is making progress because she's got the right perspective. Instead of a black cloak, it's a purple cloak. And purple represents the third eye chakra. It represents intuition and psychic ability, and because she is listening to her guidance and she's connected to something bigger than herself, she's not worried about the things that she's lost. She's looking towards the future and the things that she still has. It reminds me of a prayer that I say a lot. It's, God, thank you for everything you've given me, everything you've taken away, and everything you've left me with. I think that's really meaningful because we all have things to be grateful for. So she's made progress because she's looking at the positives rather than saying, oh my God, I've lost all of this. So that's progress. That's spiritual progress. If you can do that, look at a situation with a kind of positive and hopeful perspective rather than let yourself be bogged down by every negative thing that happens. Because negative things are going to happen in life. And we all have our ups and downs, and we've got to keep going. And the thing that's going to help you progress most smoothly is if you have this belief that the universe is with you, it's on your side, and wants you to succeed. The next card is mourning. The Nine of Swords is usually someone who's worried and who can't sleep, who's up at night, just kind of concerned about everything that's going on. It's negative thinking, it's fear. In this case, we've got someone doubled over and they're mourning the loss of something. So it's almost interesting because it's almost like this is the perspective she could have if she was mourning what was lost. And this is the perspective she has looking at the positives. So this card really could be in the center because it is the perspective card, and you've got two options here. So option one is to be negative and to look at things negatively and to mourn and to worry and to say everything's lost and everything's difficult. I'm going to go into fear mode. I'm going to let the ego tell me that I'm going to lose my business and my house and everything is going to go to smithereens. Or you've got the other option, which is to look at the positives and to celebrate and to connect with other people who you genuinely care about and to celebrate the good things that you still do have in your life. So, for instance, let's say she's lost her job, her income, and her marriage. She still has her friends and she has places to stay. That's really tough, but someone who's really progressing on a spiritual path will say, thank you for the fact that I still have friends and I've got somewhere to stay. So I'm going to celebrate that with my friends. I'm going to thank them for letting me stay with them, and we're going to enjoy the friendship that we've got, rather than wallow and try and nitpick and analyze why the marriage failed and why the job didn't work out. Let's look to the future. Sagittarius is a really great sign when it comes to astrology because they always look to the future. It's keep things moving, push on through. So is Aries. It's really looking ahead. And we're in the time of Aries now. It's a fire kind of month. So choose the second option. If things are difficult, if life is getting you down, don't try and analyze why things have gone wrong. Instead, accept them for what they are. Say, okay, not ideal, but I'm going to make a gratitude list of all the things that I still have and that I still can be grateful for. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to celebrate and celebrate the wonderful things that I still do have in my life. And I'm not going to look to the past. And today is a really important day of doing that, and you have a choice. It's also interesting that this is the last day of the Mercury retrograde. So communication and thinking is a little bit jumbled and is more difficult than usual. And when Mercury is retrograde, Mercury is the communication planet. When it's in retrograde, it appears to be going backwards. And it forces us to look at new ways of communicating and finding ways of getting our point across and understanding things as well. So on this final day, Mercury is teaching you that you can alter your perspective and that you can make spiritual progress. And that's a different way of thinking for you. Maybe in the past, you've always been someone who's looked at the glass half empty rather than half full. You can change that around today, and you have the opportunity to take the first step at making that inner change and looking at the positives. You know, things like that can be changed. The way we think, that's what NLP is all about. It's changing the patterns in our mind. If we have certain behaviors or way of thinking, that creates like these trails in our brains, and it becomes very easy to get into those grooves. But by changing behavior and thinking, you can create new synaptic connections, and you can create new pathways in your brain. That's really been proven, and it's really something that's real. So use this day to alter something about the way you think, which you're not that happy with. So if you're easily defeated, I remember I was in hospital once, and on the report it said, it was in German, and it said psychomotorically exhaustible. And that I found that really interesting because it meant that I didn't have a lot of mental resilience at the time, and I didn't. The way I built up mental resilience was through meditation and going to meetings and praying and connecting with other people. And I did change the way I think. And every one of us can do that. So let's look at the numbers. We've got 5 and 9 is 14. And 3 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. And 8 is power. You have the power to change your thinking. No one's going to do it for you. But you have the power to really do this and to choose whether to look to the future or to the past. So I hope you have a wonderful day and that you learn something new about yourself and that you're able to let go of something negative that's been pestering you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. If you would like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. And in the private readings, I use the tarot and numerology and astrology. And the way I combined tarot and numerology here in my private readings, I combine all three. The astrology chart gives me a blueprint of your soul. It shows me where you've been in past lives, why you've come back and what you're trying to achieve in this lifetime, what your vocational aptitudes are, what's coming up for you in love, romance, finances, family, health, spiritual progress, travel, and also what's destined for you in those areas. So if you're interested in looking at any of those things, or if you have specific questions, whether is this partner suitable or when am I going to see things improve financially, I can answer all of those things for you. GregoryScott.com, click on readings to order. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.